Before we move forward with our last section, I want us to review what we've covered so far in the picture of great customer service. P, prepare yourself to serve both mentally and physically. I, instill trust through expertise and caring. C, consciously communicate in a considerate manner. T, treat each customer as an individual. U, under promise and over deliver. R, respect the customer's time and the money they spent with you. And then lastly, E, encourage complaints and address or solve those that have been expressed. That's the last letter, and that's what we're going to look at right now. How do we feel about complaints? Many times our thoughts are, oh, I don't want to hear them. I hope none of them exist. Well, let's take another thought about complaints. One of my favorite books is A Complaint is a Gift. And it really is, because it's a gift that someone's giving us so that we can improve, so that we can do better. On the personal side, when we come to think about it, and this has happened to me on many occasions, and maybe you can relate to it, friends have come to me and they said things like, I can't believe he's leaving. I can't believe that she doesn't want to get married. And many times they're talking about someone they really care about, a significant other, someone they're engaged to, a husband or a wife. And then they will say to me, you know, they just told me yesterday that they didn't like, and then they'll go on with something that the person complained about. And they will always say, but they never told me. So what does that say? That they never gave them the gift or the opportunity to change their behavior, to do something differently. And you know what? Our customers are exactly the same way. When they complain, they give us an opportunity to do something differently. Many times we think if there are no complaints, there are no complaints. Research says that is not always true. In fact, studies have shown that depending on the business, depending on the product, the service, and the price, at any given time, 20 to 65% of customers are dissatisfied, and they haven't told the business owner. They haven't communicated that to the company. So I want you to think to yourself, 20 to 65%? With your customers, do you think it's closer to 20 being 1 out of 5? Or do you think it's closer to 65% being 6 out of 10 that have not complained, but they do have a complaint? If we look at it, I think there are 4 levels that customers interact with us at when it comes to complaints. The first one is no complaint. And that is exactly what was stated, meaning that the person was satisfied with the product or service. Now, of course, we know there are levels of satisfaction, and we're going to talk about those later, but technically they were satisfied. Then we have non-complaints. There is a concern that the person has. They are dissatisfied on some level, but you know what? They haven't communicated it to us. And then there's the implied complaint. The person did not make a specific complaint, but there's something they did that said they are not satisfied. A great example, a waiter comes over to the person they have served at the end of the meal, they hand them the check, and then they realize that the meal is basically untouched. And when they say to the person, so did you enjoy the meal? They hear, it was okay. Yeah, it was fine, it was fine. And then when they say to them again, well, would you like us to wrap that up, that meal for you? No, it's fine. To me, there is a complaint lingering there that the person implied. But unless that waiter goes and asks some more questions, they will never know it. And then the last one is the expressed complaint, where the person has told you that something is not working, that they are dissatisfied in some way, and you want to take the steps to correct that. So when we come back, we're going to take a look at each of these levels and the type of customers who are dissatisfied.